All right. All right, children. Welcome back to Ironsblood. It's been 2 weeks since we've last played, so we're going to go through a little bit of a recap. Upon your arrival into the capital of Ironsblood, having Maria guide you up towards the king and his palace, talking with him and receiving another job from him, given all of your expertise in very specific fields. You were tasked with going to the mines, the long cave location, to figure out what's happening down there and why production has stopped. Over the course of 2 weeks, you traveled down to the caves, or to the mines, sorry, and met with not a whole lot. You come to understand that the mines had been excavated and left to their own, while stories of gnolls and other creatures down there have been running around as they please. Meeting with the head of the town, Alvar Ironsmiths. He told you that there were petrifying monsters down there, along with the king. You all decided to have a fun time within the tavern the night prior and make an absolute mess of each other. But it's all in fun as the next day you travel down towards into the mines. First, upon immediately coming into the mines, you notice that it was boarded off and completely cut off from anything going in or out. You had broken through this barrier and made your way down, far, far down below the depths of the surface. As you guys have been going down and down, a soft smell has been tickling your guys' noses, especially the further you get. Upon coming down to about 500 or so feet below the surface, from which you guys can estimate, you began to see statues of petrified creatures with chunks bitten out of them. You will come down one long corridor. Lights non-existent, besides Wolf's dancing lights and the torch that Jack currently has within his hand. You come to see a room that's been muddied, thrown about just from the doorway structure that you can see. When Jack hears a sound to his side amongst the middle of your guys' marching order, he looks over, and Ellie, you can see this. Tootsie can see this. Gerp maybe needs to make a perception check, and then Aegis doesn't see anything. But Gwen and Greg don't notice anything as Jack turns over and starts to solidify. You all hear the sounds of thump, 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 footsteps approaching as it gets closer and closer. It does. But I need everybody to roll initiative. All right. Do we have a roll for everybody? All right, 25 to 20. Okay. 20 to 15. 15. Yikes, guys. Yikes. Okay, Ellie. Hey, there he is. Hey, buddy. Yeah. We'll let him get himself figured out. 15 to 10. 13 for Gwen. Is that it? What the Okay. Um 10 to 5. Jeez, okay. Gerp, Gerp, what did you roll? 4. All right then. All right, Tootsie, can you hear us? I'll take that as a no. Okay. Uh, and I will let you guys know we have Jack at an 11. At 11, yes. You will momentarily. As, as Ellie, you're up first. Yeah. Everything else rode pretty low too. Everything else. So you are currently to the opposite side of Jack. You guys were walking in twos. Gwen and Greg from left to right are at the front. Then it's Jack and Ellie, Tootsie and Gerp, and then Angus is holding the rear by himself. So Jack is on your immediate left. You see him turn, kind of make a like sound, and as you look over with the light still going on, you can see that parts of his legs and body are starting to solidify. Oh yeah, you can probably imagine. And do you have dark vision? What's your range? I believe it's 60 foot. Okay. Hey, Fuzz. You're good. You're good. You're good. So we'll keep Ellie going first right now. Yep. So you look over and you kind of like peek your head past Jack, and immediately you can see this low hanging creature. It's almost got like the face of like a turtle, but it doesn't have the shell or anything. And instead of on its back, it's this long, probably 6, 7 foot creature with 4 legs on each side. The whole top of it is just lined and lined of spikes as it just snarls down, saliva dripping off of its chin. It's currently staring at Jack. Jack can speak as well right now, and he's like, guys. To describe your guys' area, you guys are currently still within the shafts. And you're at like a nexus point of 4 ways. You have one way to your. If everybody's looking forward at the room that you guys saw at the very end of last session, that's your guys' quote unquote north. To your guys' left is this creature and the way Jack is looking. You have another way to your right, and then you have the way behind you. Each Each sorry, I'm just trying to describe your guys' area. Each like tunnel is probably about 12 feet wide. So it fits the two of you all right, and maybe a third if you really wanted to get comfortable. So they're fairly wide, and you have about another 12 feet up. So you guys have some space to move, but it is limited. And there are wooden posts every so often to help keep the structure of the shaft up. So, as you stare this thing down, Ellie, what are you doing? Uh, okay. So are you just trying to pull him away? Okay. So you just want to trade places, basically? Okay. Um, roll a strength check or an athletics check. Uh, no. Give me your. What did you roll for initiative? It was nat 20. All right. We'll do the Ellie's turn, and then we'll go to you, and then we'll fix it for the return. Nat 20. Okay, give me just a moment. Okay. What's the nat 20 does help. However, as you kind of wrap your arms around Jack from the backside and begin to pull, he's way heavier than you expect him. And you just barely manage to like just try and pull him back, and he's heavier than you think he should be, and you barely manage to move him at all, but then you're like fuck it, and you just move around in front of him, and anyways he doesn't seem like he can really be moved right now. So then we'll oh yep, you can finish your turn, my bad. Yes, it would have been your action to do that. This creature right now is about 30 feet away from where you are. Okay. Does that end your turn then? All right. Tootsie. All you were directly behind Jack. You saw him turn, kind of make a noise and start to turn to stone, and then Ellie kind of looked past him and like started to try and grab him. Just realized she really couldn't and ran in front of him. He's like, I don't know, I feel stiff. And you can see like it starts to like crackle up his body and like work his way up his neck. You guys have light directly around you. Because Wolf has dancing the lights up, and Jack currently has a torch in one hand. Hmm. Well, the creature's about 30 feet away. And you, Tootsie, because you guys are like basically back to back with each other, you can pretty much see it, like a direct line of sight if you just look to your left. Oh, I'm sure you. I mean, yeah, you guys are right. You guys are all right there next to each other. Um, would you necessarily know to avert your gaze? Probably not. You can probably come to that conclusion on your own. About 30 feet away, yeah. Okay, so you cast Hail of Thorns, which I need to pull. Okay, give me just a moment to double check something. Okay, that's a bonus action. So you can cast Hail of Thorns first. Are you actively trying to avert your gaze? Okay, I need you to roll an attack with disadvantage. It is a 10. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, that hits, dude. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that hits. Okay, so roll your d8. Add all your dex. As you all watch as Tootsie just turns her head over to like look at at Jack and Ellie, just pulls the bow back, not even looking, and lets it fire. Oh, it does. It does. It is. It is an 18. Okay, Jesus, 50. Okay. He does save. Yeah, he rolled an 18. It's a D10. Whatever you roll, it'll be cut in half to 4. All right, that's a nice hit. Yeah. You only see one. You only see one creature right now. You see that it has multiple legs, which you realize, oh, that was what the multiple footsteps were. Yeah, you shot it at, and as it's like staring Jack and now Ellie down, its saliva dripping down its chin, it just opens up its mouth and starts to let out this low guttural as the arrow flies into its mouth and pierces out the side of its jaw. And from there, the arrow tip just explodes in thorns across its body as it just the backs up and like just screams out. Oh, you guys have all like, yeah. Ellie was like, "Hey guys," and Jack has also been like, "Oh, yeah." So everyone is like on edge, and everyone's like, "Wait, what? What's happening? What? Where?" So like everyone knows there's a fight happening or something's going down. It is Aegis's turn, and Aegis is gonna, uh, he's gonna take out one of his javelins. Uh, he's just gonna, he's gonna, well, what he's gonna do is he can't quite see the creature because everyone's light is just barely off at the edge of where this creature is. Um, and he doesn't have dark vision, so he can't quite see it. So he's just actually gonna hold out his great axe. He's gonna be like, "I need some light, guys." On your turn, um, it's the creature's turn because Aegis is gonna hold his turn. So I need to check on when this happens. Okay. I needed to know whether or not Jack would turn to stone on this creature's turn or his turn, and it's his. So the creature, Ellie, were you actively looking away? Okay. This creature the creature is just gonna yell out and just roar as he takes steps back. And you hear, yeah, it steps away. Um, Probably steps about 10 feet. And so now you just hear this angry roar and call kind of echo out throughout the chambers. What's your question? No, it's not loud enough. It's just loud because it just echoes off the walls. Yeah. Gwen, it's your turn. You have everybody kind of looking off to your guys' left, and there's a room in front of you that's been all like messied. You can just see some of the stuff kind of just scattered across the floor from like the gated or not gated the door like structure. What do you do? Yes, it's kind of staring past Ellie and kind of just staring at Jack. But because Ellie's in front, it kind of it kind of has the like one eye's on Ellie and one eye kind of leans past. It's doing like the cross-eyed thing. Then go for it. You, what's your? Well, yeah. What are you doing, Glenn? Okay, what's your speed or your walking speed? Yes. Okay, so you actually can't quite get in range with it unless you use your tabaxi ability, which then you can. Because it backed away 10 feet from where it was. It was 30 feet. And from you to kind of get around the corner and run at it would be about 30 to 35 of your speed. And now it's 40 feet from where like the entrance of the nexus point is. Okay. So you run using your now granted 60 feet speed, and you can get up close to it. So you're right in front of it now. All right, roll an attack with disadvantage. What did you roll, Gwen? 16. That hits as you swing away with your axe, I would assume. All right, yeah, you hit it as you kind of chop into one of its legs and kind of causes it to buckle for a second. It's still looking like it wants to get away. Roll your damage. It's a D12 plus your strength. D12 plus 4 because of your gauntlets. 14 damage? Jesus. Fuck me, barbarians. You see this creature kind of buckle down and kind of just look angry. Does that end your turn, Gwen? Okay. Let me just write something down really quick. Well, Gwen can see it anyways, so... Alright. It's Jack's turn. Jack has to make a Constitution saving throw. You don't know? But, Ellie, as you have your hand on the back of him, kind of like keeping the space between you and this creature, your hand is already pressed up to what feels like stone. And you swear just for a moment that it changes. As you kind of press on him again, and you see Jack kind of like shifting and turning enough to where it seems like the effect isn't happening anymore. But it seems like it's like slowly breaking away on him. So yes, he did save, but for the purposes of this, we'll keep him as restrained and not able to move freely until he gets back himself. So yes, but that is his turn. He is no longer being petrified. Maybe. You all watch as you hear another creature kind of thump, 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 as the footsteps start to run up. And from beyond the shadows, especially you, Tootsie, and Gwen with your long, dark vision, you can see another creature start to come from along this hallway. From the same hallway. Yes. You see another creature kind of pitter up and look down. This creature is probably, I'd say, another 30 feet after that, after where Gwen and the other one is. So, Greg, it's your turn. So the first creature is about 40 feet away. And the second one that everyone is like, oh, there's a second one, which you can't see, is about 70 feet away from you. Yes, but it is a concentration cantrip. No, the only thing is if you get damaged or do another thing that costs concentration, the dancing lights go out. No, it shouldn't. Okay. You're closer. You're not quite there yet because you were behind Gwen, and Gwen couldn't have made it on 30 feet either. Oh yeah, if you want to toss that shit, yeah, you can toss it. Just how far away do you want to be? 20 feet, 10? Okay. So you just walk up about 5 feet. Okay. Roll an attack with disadvantage. You could. It'll still be disadvantage because then you're trying not to hit Gwen. Yeah, it's the disadvantage. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you rolled a 9 plus what for your for Dex? You roll your Dex because you're throwing it. Is it? Whack. Okay. So 14. 14 still doesn't hit. You throw it, and it doesn't come near Gwen, but you're kind of using her as a base marker as it just kind of skids past and kind of deflects off of the spikes that kind of go along its body and tail. Anything else, Greg? Is it a bonus action? Yes, you can. Okay. Who are you giving it to? Okay. So Gwen gets a D6. There you are, Gwen. D6 to add to any ability check, saving throw, or attack roll. All right. You all hear more footsteps approach from the opposite way. Hello? Oh, oh, okay. Did Discord died, I think, real quick? Okay. All right. All right. I don't know what you guys heard, so I'll say it again. You all hear focusing on these two creatures in front of you. More platters hit the ground. And you turn behind you and you can see another one, smaller, not quite as wide as these other two, but you see another one approach and look down upon. Yeah, this one is also about 40 feet away behind you now. Gerp, it's your turn. It's not. It's still. When I say smaller, I mean the other two that have been seen are probably about 4 feet wide and 6 feet long. This one is maybe 3 feet wide and 5 feet long. Like he's still big. All right, run after that bitch then. Okay. Okay, so you're about 10 feet away from that one then. Okay. Okay, so you're not looking directly at it. All right. If you want to roll an attack, roll it with disadvantage. 15 exact. Is it's armor class. Roll your damage. It was 4 damage total. All right. And the target is a creature. It must make a Wisdom saving throw. Oh, okay. Now it's kind of poked into its side. All right. Back to Tootsie. You you heard fighting behind you, and you heard Gerp kind of run off from your side to fight it. You heard the cling, 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 cling of his armor. Yeah, he's a loud motherfucker. It'll be like shenanigans. That's one of your conclave abilities, correct? Let me read what it says. What are you trying to use? Where is... Oh, is that part of your... Oh, that's your conclave thing, right? Sorry, I meant like my brain thought was it one of your ranger abilities? Subclass. Yeah, no, you as long as your ire on one opponent, increasing the harm you inflict on it as bonus action, you can designate one creature you can see within 60 feet of you as a target of this feature. Yeah, the first time you... Yeah, I can say you put your Slayer Spray on it. Okay. So roll a disadvantage then. It just adds a d6 to damage. Okay. So, so you have a... Yep, you get a +2 no matter what, which is fucking insane. Mine doesn't hit, unfortunately, as it just whizzes past both Gwen and the creature. So the D6 on it is still there. It's just until the first time you hit it. All right, Ellie. Gerp from you now is about 30-35 feet from you. Yeah, from you, yeah. You have a speed of 40 though, don't you? Yeah, dude. So no, you're a monk. You do crazy shit. I would say you wouldn't. Oh, wait, you have a speed of 50? Yeah, you can do that. It will take all of your movement to do so, but yeah, you can get around it. You want to try flanking with it? Yeah. Uh, yeah, if you're not actively trying to avoid gaze, yeah, it's advantage. Well, that's what I mean though. Is you technically don't know if that's what causes it, so you can actively look at it and it will be advantage, or you can try and like look away and just have it be a regular roll. Okay. It has no blind spot. Yeah. Tsukuyomi. 21 fucking hits, yeah. Heat damage, not too shabby. All right. Go for it. Flurry blows that motherfucker. All right. Yep. Because you're flanking. That hits. Those both hit. Roll your damage. Fucking monks, dude. Jesus. Uh, apparently fucking not. He fucked up. He's not looking good. Uh, he pretty fucked up. All right. So it's now the creature's turn. Actually, no, it's not. It's Aegis's turn because Aegis moves first. Aegis is gonna run over to where Gerp is, and he can't make it to the creature, but he's right next to Gerp. He uses his full speed to get next to Gerp. The creature spins around to you, Miss Ellie. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. All right, yeah. You feel this presence kind of into your body, and you just break off as your body starts to stiffen, and you're a monk. You're loosey goosey. You're fine. Seeing what? No, right now it's turned. It's looking at Ellie. Yeah. But it's it's gonna go ahead and well, they're not flanking. Gwen would get advantage. They just don't have to roll with disadvantage. It's gonna go for an attack on you. What is your armor class? That hits. Uh, all right, you take 13 piercing damage and 3 poison damage. Yep. No, not always. As it bites into your leg, and you feel the pressure and the poison just pump into your vein. Gwen, it's your turn. What are you doing? This is the one that's right next to you. It's currently spun around and is looking at Ellie right now. All right. Roll for an attack. If you're not trying to avert your gaze, sorry. Um, you can roll with advantage for an attack because you are flanking with Ellie. 21. Yeah, that hits. Roll your damage. 24 as you wind up your axe and kind of step at it from the side and slam down the axe. Cleanly cuts off the head as it thump, 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 onto the ground, and the whole body just onto the ground as the dust kind of flies up. Hmm. Uh, roll a d20 for me. 13? Yeah, they're still open. You don't know? Yeah, you don't know what'll happen. I would say probably wait because it was your action to chop off its head. Um, and if you're actively trying to like pick up the head, this fucking hulking mass of a head and guts that are currently pulling out of it, and kind of like spin around, probably just go over your turn limit. All right, so that ends your turn then. All right, Jack is still kind of frozen in place, beginning to move again, but can't quite get there just yet. The other creature, um, no, it takes its full movement and action movement to get closer. Um, so it's pretty much right up on Ellie, probably about 5 feet away. But Gwen, make a Constitution saving throw for me. Yeah, you feel a sensation kind of clasp your body. It's like all of your muscles are just pulling into your body, and you grunt and you fight it off. Greg, it's your turn. Okay. With another javelin, you are, yeah. You wouldn't quite be there with the glaive with 30 feet of movement. It would probably be about 15 feet away from where, with your 30 feet to get up. Oh, wait, you moved in, so. No, I said it was 70 feet away, the first one. Or the second one. Yeah, the first one's dead. Yeah. Maybe you should pay attention, Wolf. So you can run in on the second one, but you wouldn't quite make it there, especially with the glaive. Uh, no, it's kind of skid off the body. of the first one kind of bounced off behind it, so it's even further past. On their turn, maybe. On their turn, they could grab it, but not right now. I mean, you can. What are you doing, Greg? Okay, the second one, you still wouldn't be able to make it, so if you want to run your full 30 feet, it's about 10, 15 feet, but you have Gerp and Aegis in front of you. Is that what you want to do? Well, what do you want to do? Not with Gerp and Aegis in front of you. Yeah. If it wasn't Aegis in that hallway, you may be able to squeeze past. But both you and Aegis are beefy fucking people. So like only Gerp and Aegis in this like 10, 12 feet shaft. There's not a whole lot of space. Yes. Like that's yeah, you can do that. Roll at disadvantage. That doesn't hit, unfortunately. Again, you throw the javelin off, and it kind of just bounces off the scales and spikes on its back. Would you like to do anything else, Greg? All right. No. This creature, Aegis, needs to make a con save. Well, that's a natural one, so. As you see his Aegis, like, grabbing his axe still, as some of the orbs have started to follow Greg. He can see the creature now and sees it within his 10 feet. He just holds out his axe. Gerp specifically watches they lock eyes, and in almost mid swing and mid step, Aegis stops and can't move. He's stuck. Gerp, it's your turn. Yeah, you see him like start to like go in for like a swing and move, and suddenly he just stops. All right, roll for an attack with disadvantage. Oh yeah, that doesn't hit. As you try to poke into its side, it just bounces off some of the scales and spikes. It doesn't quite connect. Anything else, Gerp? Your smite or whatever you did is concentration, so be wary of that. Okay. Okay. All right. Back up to Tootsie and Ellie on deck. I'm sure you can look back really quick, especially with your dark vision. Yeah, you're. Well, you can see both of them, especially with your dark vision. Especially with your dark vision. You can only do it the once, I believe, on a short or long rest. I believe so. You have Hunter's Mark. You just have to be able to see them. That's your spell mark, right? You have so many fucking marking things. Yes, your spell mark. You have to be able to see them. Yes, you can. Okay. Okay. Yep. Disadvantage if you want to avert your gaze. That's 15 exact, I think. That's 16. No, yeah. That hits. Roll your damage. Roll your d8 plus your dex. And that. God, Rangers, man. Jesus. How much? 18? Fucking A, dude. Oh, 15. Okay. It's like 18. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Okay. It's a hefty hit. All right, as you hit it right into its pretty much not directly into its eye, but it carves up into that like bone and area where it's just blood starts to dribble down inside. Yep. All right. Does that end your turn? If you want to move, you can. You don't quite know about that. You can just see him in like mid swing, but you can't really tell what he's doing. You can gather probably something similar to Jack, but you don't know. That would be your action. Yeah, if you're actively trying to discern something, it would be an action. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Jack is okay, but for the purposes of because he's not here, he's still like fighting with his resistance. Okay, that's easy enough to do. Ellie, it's your turn. Unless you want to do something else or move anymore because you used an action and bonus action. Okay. Ellie, you're up with Gwen on deck. Yeah, relatively. Yeah. All right, roll for an attack. Okay. Okay. Yes, be regular roll. Yeah, that hits. Roll your damage. 13 points. Okay. Okay, it does get an attack of opportunity on you. All right, fuck you, I guess. as it tries to bite at your heels, and you go, "Ah, fuck that!" and you run away. Yeah. All right, Gwen, it's your turn. Oh yeah, you can walk closer. Say it'd be your action to try and get it to like paralyze itself. Yeah, is that what you do? All right, you kind of pick up the head and like try and look away, try and focus the head closer to it. You can still hear footsteps and kind of this the snarling of it. Doesn't seem like it's done anything. Yeah, that's your action. That's why I asked. So I'm like, do you want to? Is this what you want to make sure? So you still have move. You have a little bit of movement left, and your bonus action. All right, Gwen, make another con save for me. Actually, we know what you said. You were averting your gaze. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Um. Uh. The creature is going to walk up to you. Yeah. And he's going to try and bite your fucking ankles. What's your armor class? Yep. Jesus Christ. Uh, no, that doesn't hit. As it tries to snap at you, and you just kind of hold up your axe into its jaws and push it away, because you're about the same height as where its head is. These creatures are fairly low, but they're big. They're long. Greg, it's your turn. And Gerp, you are on deck. There is a small opening now because you can run around Aegis, and then Gerp ran up at the creature. So it's not blocked off anymore. You're fighting the tinier one. The other one is where Gwen and Ellie were. From you, you're about 30 feet from the Nexus. That one, I'd say about 70-ish feet, 70, 80 feet ish. Yeah, only Gwen's near that right now. All right. Yes, it's staring down Aegis, saliva dripping off of its chin. Make a dexterity check. So just roll a d20, add your dex to try and fit in onto the other side. Because you're a big person and this creature is kind of up against the wall. Just straight dex. 19. Yeah, you don't have a problem getting onto the other side of it. All right. Roll your attack. D20 plus your strength. 16. Yeah, that hits. Roll your damage. D10 plus strength. Nope. D10, bud. 9 damage. Not too horrible. All right. I don't think so. Oh, you did use. Okay. Okay. Let me know when you use it then, just so I'm aware. You're good. Um, as for an attack roll. Yep. Yeah, but you can use it for the attack roll. No, it was 15 damage for the attack. Nope, we're all good. Greg, make a con save for me. You feel your muscles lock up, and you almost drop your glaive from it as the glaive is like imbalances out of your hand. But you manage to catch it and break free of that like seizing ability in your body. Um, that creature is going to go ahead and attack at you. On your turn, you were. No, no, it's not a reaction ability. Um, oh, that's a nat 20, baby. So, okay, you take 15 points of piercing. And 14 points of poison damage. Any damage any dice damage roll. Uh you took 27 total. Yeah. Because this is about to hurt. Uh Gerp, it's your turn. All right. Are you trying to avert your gaze? Okay. R- roll with disadvantage then. Tootsie, you are on deck, by the way. 15 hits exact. Roll your damage with your Searing Smite stuff with a Wisdom save from me. Okay, can you do that with the concentration on the other one? Just want to make sure. Okay. Well, he fails his Wisdom save. And I believe he's now frightened of you. Nice hit. Okay. As you swing down near the back end of its body and it cleaves part of its tail off, it's still like slightly hanging on from the side as its tail kind of waggles and blood just spews out. Would you like to move at all? Okay. All right, Tootsie with Ellie on deck. All right, go for it. Are you averting gaze? Okay. So it's a disadvantage on your attack. You still have a +7 to your attack roll. I think you're fine. 11. No, it doesn't hit, unfortunately. Any bonus action movement you want to do? All right, Ellie. With Gwen on deck. You are now made it back to both Tootsie and Jack. Okay, that'll be your action. Yeah, you can do that. All right, you pop out the vial, pop, and you kind of place it down onto his back and start to rub it into like his shoulders and like his backside area. The clothes that had started turning to stone start to crack and kind of fleck off, and you assume it's working. Gwen, it's your turn. Oh, what's up? Roll that extra d8. Well, Gwen, what do you want to do? You're about 10 feet away from this other one. Okay. All right. Roll for an attack with disadvantage. I should have mentioned before Tootsie's turn. You guys have been smelling or feeling this like tingling sensation in your noses, and as the time's going on longer, it's getting stronger. This sulfuric, acidic, just pain in the nose, and you start to feel a low rumble among some of you. Yeah, you swing and it just clanks off of the body. Its natural armor. It's gonna go for an attack on you, Gwen. Um, what did you say your armor class was? 17? Nope, that doesn't hit. Jesus. As again, it's still trying to bite at you, and you're just holding it back with your with the hilt of your axe. It's not doing anything. Greg, it's your turn. It looks fucked up. like like on today's episode of How Fucked is Fucked Up, it's fucked up. All right, rage as you. Rah! If you're because you're flanking, it will cancel. No, it'll just be a straight roll. All right, roll for an attack. plus your rage, which is 2, I believe. 14 just misses. As you try and swing down onto the back end of the creature as well, trying to cut off the tail once and for all. The tail, still in its like half attached state, swings out of the way. Um, it's gonna go for an attack on you, Greg. And what's your armor class? 14. 13. That hits with a 15. So, 2, 6. Brain is not working. You take 9 piercing and 9 poison. Yes, piercing gets halved. 4 piercing, 9 poison. All right, Garp, it's your turn. Yeah, we're schmoving. I know. I'm getting better at this, or trying to at least. All right. Are you averting your gaze? All right. So because you are flanking, it is a straight roll. I don't think we did that last time, but you hit anyways, so it's okay. Nice, nice, nice. All right. Jesus. Yeah. How do you want to do this? Hey, bud. You're good. You're good. You. How do you want to do this, Ethan? All right. Oh, Jesus. All right. As you stab it into the body and try to pierce your way through, forcing your divine energy through its body, the body, boom, splits and it just like cuts down half, and the whole body almost just divided in half. Tootsie, it's your turn. With Ellie on deck. All right, go for it. All right. What'd you roll? 10, yeah. Just something about this area. You just feel so enclosed. So trying to think of the word the fear of space, I can't think of it. Claustrophobic. You just feel so claustrophobic. And as you shut the fuck up and as you let your arrow fly, it just doesn't meet its target. Ellie, it's your turn with Gwen on deck. You've finished kind of pressing in this oil and balm into the back of Aegis, and it starts to absorb into his skin and through his clothes, and he seems okay. Yes. I'd say 45. Yeah. Okay. All right. 50. Okay. Okay. All right. Are you trying to avert your gaze? All right. Roll for an attack. I'd say yeah, especially with Step of the Wind, you can get there. Yep. So yeah, fucking monks. 23 hits. Roll your damage. 8 damage. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's Aegis' turn, and Aegis breaking out of his petrification, looks around and like looks towards where this just absolute desecration of one of these creatures from GURP just looks. Just gives a soft smile and a soft nod. Gwen, it's your turn. You're swinging. All right. Are you averting your gaze? Gwen, are you averting your gaze? It's damaged. You're seeing some wear and tear. Gwen. Oh, you're looking away. Okay. Roll your attack with disadvantage. 15. 15 hits. Roll your damage. Jesus. And she's not even raging. All right. As you cleave into its side, and it's just this pool of blood just splatters out and starts to drip along the side of its body. Jack, you, among all of this time, because you were not here, we've changed how your petrification worked just a little bit. So, you were being petrified, and you saved on the petrification to turn to the full petrified. But what's happened is every turn now you've still been stuck in place and not really been able to do anything. But now that you're here and it's your turn, for story reasons, we'll say you've broken out of your final bits of petrification, and now you are free to do what you want. So currently, because you've been stuck in one direction facing, you've watched two creatures fight down to where Gwen and Ellie are right now. You've seen Tootsie beside you and now in front of you shoot down towards that way. And you've heard sounds of fighting behind you, but you haven't been able to turn around. And that. Yes, you've seen two in front of you. You saw Gwen chop off the head of one, and you see one more in front of you, but you don't know what's happening behind you. You heard fighting, and then it sounded like something like meat splitting and tearing, but you don't know what happened. And as you hear that tearing sound, you also hear Greg being like, "Holy shit!" Yes, you had seen one, which is what caused you to start the petrification process, but that one is dead, and because you don't have dark vision, you can just hear the sounds of fighting ahead of you in the darkness. You still have a torch in your hand, so oh, that is true. If you've been hit, I need we'll say two constitution saves from you. It's a D20, a D20, and we'll see based on what you roll. I don't quite remember your damages, but we'll see what you get for your D20 roll. Yep, that's the big one. We'll just a moment. Depending on how much damage you took, you need a con save. A 10 total. Okay, roll me a second one. Yeah, yeah. Those lights are out. All right. Yes. Okay. So Jack, what was your question? So so Tootsie is directly in front of you. You know Ellie and Gwen are ahead of you, and with no, because you do not have dark vision. And if you look behind you, you can also hear like the ends of fighting, like people breathing heavy, but you cannot see them either. So the only one you can actively see right now is Tootsie. With no light and just your torchlight, about 20 feet, 25 feet. Yeah, so they're fairly far away. No, nothing. You guys, especially you guys have been feeling this sulfuric smell continue to grow and enter your guys' noses, and Jack specifically has felt like rumblings under his feet. You guys have all at least felt it a little bit. No, you're not on a volcano. You guys are in like the edge of the island. There was like a little mountain. It's more like a hill, really. It's not an actual mountain. There was just a piece built into this small little hill, and you guys have been going down and down and down. All right, what are you doing? Okay, is that a concentration spell? It should tell you on D&D Beyond. Okay, okay, okay. And what does that do? Healing spirit? Beast or Fey? Okay. Yeah, I see. The spirit can heal a number of times equal to one plus your spellcasting ability modifier, minimum of twice. After healing that number of times, the spirit disappears. As a bonus action, you can move the spirit up to 30 feet. Okay. So this creature. Yeah, actually, you can. You can. Okay. Yeah, you can spin around and apparate a. What creature would you like to appear? Okay. You create this almost dragon-like esque creature to just pah into existence, and it kind of floats around in this area around Gerp, Aegis, and Greg. Um, what's your spellcasting modifier? It, yeah, it should say modifier or something like that. Force, you can do it a total of 5 times. And until the spell ends, whenever you or a creature you see moves into the spirit space for the first time or start a turn on there, it causes a d6 point to get to that creature until they move into the space on their turn or it starts their turn there. They're relatively close. Yep. 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 Yeah, he did. All right. That's a nice turn from you. As soon as you come back into the fight, um, Gwen was looking away, so it's gonna go for a bite attack. That is 21. You said you're not raging, right? 11 piercing damage. And 9 poison damage. All right. Greg, it's you. On the start of your... What's up? It depends on what you want to do. No, you cannot use a reaction on your turn. It has to be on another... On basically anything else. Well, the creature's dead. It's currently been split in half. Yep. Either or. I would probably say Jack rolls it, but because it's his healing, 5 hit points back to you. All right, Greg. Greg, what would you like to do? The other one is over with Gwen, about 70 feet away. 70 feet away. What's your range on it? Okay. Yeah, that seems really high for a javelin. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, are you just yeeting that bitch? Okay, because it's past its range. Roll with disadvantage. I just really want a natural one. Yeah, we'll see. Just completely goes wide. It just stops short. Like it doesn't hit. Gerp, as you revel in your kill, Gerp, what would you like to do? It smells rancid. Roll me a strength check. I'd say you get maybe a few tiny pieces. The meat itself is very tough. Yeah, you've got some stringy pieces of meat. Um, just I'd say I'd say a quarter of a pound of basilisk meat. You guys don't know they're basilisks, but that's what you can call it in your inventory. Because of your smite, it's kind of charred. Is that does that end your shut the fuck? Okay. All right, Tootsie, it's your turn with Ellie on deck. Only Gwen is there, so no, not technically no. A little bit. Okay. It's about 45 feet away. Okay. Roll for an attack, or if you want to look away, it's a disadvantage. Okay. Yeah, that hits. That's 20. Roll your damage. Yeah, if you placed it on this one, yep. Fuck. 10 damage. That's still a pretty decent roll. As you bully it from the side, and another arrow just pierces it. Would you like to do anything else? All right, Ellie, it's your turn with Gwen on deck. Okay. Uh, yep. Do you want to avert gaze just in case? Okay. Yeah, that hits. 8 damage. All right. All right. Roll for your attacks. That hits. How do you want to do this? No. How do you want to do this? Uh, you'll cut it. Just roll me a strength check just to see how far you get. 16. You get a good chunk of the way. About halfway or so as you just grip onto one of the edges of the scythe as hard as you can, and you just pull back and try to cut it on inside. Get about, I'd say, a little less than halfway. Yep. as the creature drops, and you all take a breath, and you look at each other from ones you can see at least. You seem okay. It's not like overwhelming, but it's definitely noticeable. Yep. You still have the head. About you. Yeah, you can move the Fae over. I don't know if anybody else actually took damage. You still you still have 4d6s to give away. Uh yeah, I'd say you can move the creature fast enough to get everybody at least. Probably Greg still. Okay, so Greg, so you have 4d6 to give away basically. Okay, so Greg, Greg, you get 2d6. I'd say roll a d6, just one, and then everybody will get the same base. Yes. Yes. As the Fae like comes back around and like kind of like curls up on Greg's shoulders, it evaporates into mist. Yeah. Yeah. And he can move it 30 feet per round, so he was okay. No, that's. I mean, if you want to take a sniff. No, it was Gurp. Gurp, did you actually eat any of it? Okay. Uh, no. The reason, especially why that one smelled so bad, was because he basically just like flash cooked it. And besides them just being creatures who don't take care of themselves, like they just smell gross. It's not the sulfur smell that you guys are all feeling or smelling. You could. Um, what's the rating on just a dog? The Yeah, I don't remember what your rating is for what you can turn into at level 4, but if it's where you can, yeah, you can turn into a dog. All right. And I believe you get up if you're looking for a perception check, you get advantage on it because it's smell, correct? It should say in your stat. Yes, but you get advantage because if you're trying to get a scent. What's up? Yeah, sure. Um Roll me a dex check to try and get them out cleanly. Hmm. I believe because of your wild shape, you can keep that. You can keep your perception check. It would be your perception. No, it would just be yours. Yes. Roll 2d20s or perception check. Because you're rolling with advantage, it's 2d20. What'd you roll for your dex? A nat 20. If you really wanted to, you could get all six. All right. Gwen just goes around and just carves out all the eyes. The eyes themselves are these almost blue tinted eyes. They look white, but almost in the white sense of like ice, where it's almost blue. And then just these like really, really center, just black and dots in them, just glossed over and lifeless. And you also just watched a fucking fish explode another one. Yep. 17. You sniff and you kind of lead away. Yeah. And you kind of to get everybody's attention. Um and you yeah, because it's a spell you put on yourself, yeah. They do not. Neither do cats, which is crazy. Cat doesn't. Yep, yep. Explain that, atheists. So as you're kind of looking around and smelling the direction you guys were heading towards that room where you guys can see it's kind of muddied. You can't see the full extent of the room, and there's not like a doorway or anything. It's just where like the shaft ends, and then there's another room beyond it. It seems to be coming from in there. And as you kind of get closer and sniff, the smell gets just slightly stronger in that direction. You take your steps, and you can feel that little that rumble beneath you guys again. It's just a big enough room where, from your perspective on this like end of the shaftway, you can't see the sides of the room. Hmm. Yeah, you can try. I'll say because you're just a dog and you've smelled the basilisk creatures, it doesn't seem like there's any more in there. But you get a faint similar scent in there. Does anybody speak Sylvan? Even you could. All right, you boom out of your wild shape. No, from your perspective, you can see the end of the room. You can't see the sides. You don't know if it's a shaft or not. It just looks like a room. It's like from like the direction you're going forward in north, you can see there's an area in here of a wall on the opposite side, but because of your perspective, none of you have walked close enough up to see if it continues onward. Yeah, you can see you guys can see like timber kind of like knocked off from the wall, like kind of like in view, and some like tools and stuff kind of just all scattered along the floor. There's no tools out. There's no tools on this side. You can, yeah. What's up? No. As long as you can see them within like 120 feet, you can give it to them. Uh, per like turn in combat, no, but because of this, yeah, you can give it to people. It just costs your dice. Like, so you have a pool of healing, remember? So I, so 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 each person can be given a d6 or as many d6 as you want. But I believe you can only do up to half of your druid level. So you can only give one person 2d6 at a time. You can heal up to 4 if you have that available 4 dice, but you can only give somebody at once 2d6. No, one person per a d6. If you wanted to, yeah, yes, and if you wanted to, you could give somebody 2d6, but if you were like in combat, you wouldn't be able to give any more than that per turn. Okay, so that's up to 4 people then. You have a pool of 4. You can give away 2 at a time. So you have 4 chances to give somebody a d6, and you could give a single person 2 of them, and you'd have 2 left. Yes. All right. So who are you giving them to? All right. Roll healing. Roll a d6 and give it to everybody. All right. Another 4 for both Ellie and Gwen. 8 for Greg. Lots of G names. If you wanted to. All right. 7. Okay. Yes, eat them, and then you'll gain 4 hit points. No. Okay. With your, what did you roll on your perception check? Oh, to look for tracks and stuff? Yeah, it doesn't really seem like there's any other tracks. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything else. You can. What are you trying to perceive? Life? Yeah, you don't have dark vision, so you're not in there yet. So it'd be with disadvantage. So yeah, you guys. Okay. As both Elliot and Gwen start to push into the room, 4 globules of light appear in because of Wolf. As you guys enter into the room, from entrance to the end wall, about 10 or so feet, and from you see from side to side there are walls, and it's probably about 15 feet from side to side, maybe a little bit more. This room itself um, is mainly seems to be some sort of like outposting or just like supply hold. There's lots of tools. There's lots of pickaxes, some minecart materials, some rails. It just seems sort of like a supply post. What I would like is perception checks from the both of you. Okay. Okay. The room is trashed. Um. Yes, Gwen. No. The room. The room is trashed. There's tools and pieces of equipment just laying everywhere. Um, and I'll say with the combined 15s, off in the corner, probably your back like right, as you guys are kind of just looking around. There seems to be a cluster of something. Okay, so it's you're basically just staying right at the entrance and like kind of just looking at it. As you walk up, you see these white. You see about 3 white rounded objects with like spatters of the similar blues and red that you've seen on these creatures. Crushing them. Um, before you do that, roll me an intelligence check really quickly. Well, we'll see what he gets on this. 16. Um, you, from what you gathered, these are basilisks, and you know their eggs are pricey. All right, so you have 3 basilisk eggs. From your guys' experience, you know the creature has to, one, be alive, two, has to lock eyes with you. That's a conversation for another day. Do the rest of you come into the room? All right. So you all kind of are just looking around, seeing these tools and stuff. You look up. It's the ceiling. It's dirt. No, there's just the ring girl hiding in the corner. Just seven more face spiders. Uh, maybe not. Maybe not in the ceiling, but again, that rumble. Hmm. I'd say you're like just like you. Well, Gwen probably saw it. Yeah, you guys both kind of spotted it at the same time. I would say you're like just finishing putting it into your pocket as everybody comes in. Roll a sleight of hand check. Roll a sleight of hand check. Well, yeah, just whew, given and gone as you all just look with that same check, and as you had seen these eggs in the corner, as you feeling these rumbles, you see the wall kind of crumple off to the side, right next to the eggs, because it's right into the corner, and the wall kind of gives way. It looks interesting. You kind of get in closer. You can see what this almost like tunnel like is built into the wall, and like right it continues from left to right, and as you kind of peek your head in through, before it would hit the entrance, it digs down. Yep. So there's something making tunnels around you. And as you don't see the creature, you just see the tunnel. Yeah, you don't see the creature. You can feel the rumbling beneath you and kind of around you guys as like the ground shakes, and it's moving pretty quick. Like, you can. It's not like directly under you where you could exactly feel where it is, but you can kind of feel it approach and like kind of fly past you. It seems to just be like you've felt it just kind of come and go around and around you guys. It's not quite encircling, but it's around. It's not crazy shaking, but you can. Um, uh, Yeah, you can use thaumaturgy. The ground shakes a little bit. People still feel it kind of past it. From in that wall side, yes. It's so if you were to look into it, Gwen, you could probably fit into the hole if you made a little bit more space. Um, from the direction of where it is, so it's like perpendicular to the floor level, but so it doesn't pop out from where you can see the hole when you're trying to enter the room. Like right before it hits, the tunnel goes down, like avoiding the shaft. Jack, do you actually do it? Okay. Okay. Um, it's pretty big. Gurp Gurp could probably fit pretty comfortably in there. Okay. So which direction are you going, left or right? All right. You get a few feet before you see the tunnel. Basically, like almost like directly 90 degrees drops down. You do not see a bottom. Being within these tunnels, you can feel these tremors even stronger. Does anybody else want to do anything while Gurp has just suddenly been lost to the tunnels? Okay. You can do whatever you want. Okay, before as you guys are having this conversation, Gurp, what did you want to try and do? Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. As this is all happening, Gurp first starts to feel it You can feel the shaking around you. And especially both Garp and Gwen feel this strong shaking. And everyone up top, you start to lose your step just a little bit as the ground shakes and you have to kind of find your planting. And as Garp starts to push downward, he's the first to fall. As the ground gives way underneath, and everyone, one by one, Gwen next, and then everyone else drops. I need everybody to make dexterity saving throws. I still need dexterity saving throws, and I need a dex check from Jack to see if he can do it fast enough. Dexterity saving throw. So Jack, I need an acrobatics check from you first to see if you're fast enough, and if you can tell what's happening. Say you're not quite fast enough to get the spell off in time. And then I need a saving throw from you, dexterity. $15. Okay. So, Ellie, what did you get?
I got a
23. Greg. Okay. So Greg's 1. Jack, you said you got 15? Okay. I should probably roll for Aegis. Let me get his stat up. Yep, he's around. He does not save. Gwen. 16. Okay. Tootsie. Dirty 20. Okay. And then Gerp. 17. Okay. DC is 16. Yes, in just a moment. So as this ground gives way to you all, and this whole bottom section of the ground just completely starts to give out beneath you, you all fall, free fall into everything. Jack tries to pull out his feather, but doesn't quite make it before he reaches the ground. As you all slam into the ground, it's 50 feet. I would say you can get Gwen comfortably, but yeah, but you wouldn't be able to hold Gerp. No, Gerp is heavy. So everybody 16 and up. The total damage is 25 damage, halved to 12.
Would I be able to do something? Given how fast I am and the fact that I have slow fall, would I be able to take Jack's damage for you?
No. No. It's specifically for you. Yes, I'll say you watch. Well, get an acrobatics check to see if you can catch Gwen before she falls. 25 damage. But we're not done. 11 can't quite catch her just in time. As Gwen falls, and everybody besides you did save, so you take 12 damage. However, as everybody's continuing falling, you've begun hitting this sloped point of the wall. So you guys start to slide down. And as you kind of catch yourself and as you slide down, you can see there's a gap ahead of you, maybe 60, 70 feet away. And then there's a cavern floor below you. And you look around just this brief instant. There's this huge open space with a bunch of stalactites coming down from the ceiling, kind of sliding down with you guys. There's a bit of a curve towards the end of this seemingly slope side that you guys are all sliding down. I need another deck save from everybody except for Tootsie. I'd say you have it, but you're not falling right now. And there is a gap between you guys, between from where you are, and you can just see the edge of this floor that's not connected to the thing you're sliding down. Aegis doesn't save. What's up? You don't know? If you failed it, 25. Okay. Ellie, what did you roll?
Fucking 25.
25. Greg, 17. Okay. Jack, 4. Oh, buddy. Gwen, 17. And then Gerp, 21. Okay. This one, this one's a little bit easier. So let me roll your damage. Hold on, I'm mathing. Hold on, give me a sec. So, I give me another acrobatics check to see if you can dive and catch Jack. Nat one. As you all are sliding down this faster than you guys can like grab onto the walls. Maybe aside from Kendrick and his slow fall, but it doesn't quite help here. It's a deep slope and then it curves up just to catapult you all up and kind of free fly throughout all of the air. And Tootsie kind of dives in and tries to catch Jack, but Jack just like flies out of the way, just cartwheeling through the air. And Tootsie can't catch him. As you all hit the opposite side of the floor and tumble along. Everybody who got over a 14 takes 26 damage. Or sorry, everybody who got under 14 takes 26. Everybody above takes 13. You can, but you wouldn't. It wasn't like a fall. You kind of jumped over a gap and then hit the ground. It is below you, so if you wanted to try it, yes, you can. If you want to pick people and do it, yeah, go for it. If you choose to, yeah. So here you're choosing, Nick. As you guys are flying through the air, who are you choosing? All right. All right. So No. As long as you get it and you hit it, everybody who was in part of that list doesn't take any damage. As Jack pulls out his feather and pulls out his incantation and spreads the energy to everyone else, right before you all hit the ground on the opposite side, you slow down and your feet just tap the edge, and then you have Ellie, and who was the other one, and Tootsie. Tootsie kind of floats down from the ground, and Ellie kind of stumbles across the ground but catches herself on her feet. Yeah. No, because of the feather fall, you don't take any damage. Yes. It was a 25 damage. It was a 25 and then a 26. I actually rolled better on the second one than I did the first. As you kind of watch all and kind of collect yourselves among the walls, a bunch of the stalactites are falling down, as it in like almost like a straight line, as you see what would you assume the creature that's been following you or been in the walls is driving above you. They're about 60 feet up, and this cavern you guys are in, as you kind of all look around, is enormous. It just goes and goes and goes. You all kind of look around, and you can actually see, um, especially for the people without dark vision, there's flames lit. Um, Aegis, Jack, and Greg don't have dark vision, except you have dark vision because of your spell. How long does your spell last, by the way? It's 8 hours? Okay. So Aegis and Greg are the only ones without dark vision right now. However, nope. But the rest of you can see no matter what. Everyone can see, as there's pillars alit and bonfires alit, almost guiding your way. Um, you see the dirt and stalactites above you, where this creature has been kind of falling, give out, and the creature, full 60 feet, just onto the ground, as it kind of weakly just like sits there and squirms on the ground. It's from you guys are a good distance away from it, but it seems like a bigger creature. Okay. Either are. Is if it's a regular potion, 2d4 plus 2. Nice. Okay. What's up? No, you're out of initiative. You can if you want. It seems like it's been like it just fell 60 feet. It's on the ground. Like it's not dead. It doesn't seem like one. This one seems much more gray and like shelled in nature. At a glance, it's 150 feet, maybe more, away from you. His yeah, his feather doesn't disappear with the spell. No.
Dude, I'll leave him that down.
And technically, because of something we found out earlier, Jack doesn't even need the feather because of his staff. His staff is his focus.
So to be perfectly fair, if Lyra and Ironsblood didn't do that, I would have been more upset. But
Oh well.
Lyra said, "I take off the feather." We both forgot about it. We both forgot about it. Not just one.
Oh well. Oh well.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. During watching the, it's time for candy time.
You guys all look around, and um, it's that smell you guys have been smelling. That sulfuric smell is much stronger here. It burns the inside of your nostrils. Yeah. Well, I mean, as you look around, you know how in like Skyrim, the dragon like places where you learn a new word of power, they have that like curved mural of like the words and stuff. You see something very similar to that. You guys, you gather probably. Do you guys all approach? You guys are on almost like a single walkway straight up to the mural.
I would like to ask, where is the creature in relation to us? Like, is
Like
it also on this walkway, or is it further down?
it's further down the walkway. Maybe it may.
Is it lower, or
No, it's like it's a straight walkway, and you can there's like a few steps up to it, like the pathway is quite long. Um, and like along that path there are like a few steps up, but it's nothing crazy. And you saw the creature kind of fall towards the mural. It you can just kind of barely see it over the steps. It's seems to be closer to the mural, maybe a little left. Yeah.
I'm going to go in hesitantly to keep my eye on that creature.
Okay.
So wait, was this the creature I was smelling before?
No, the creatures you were smelling before were the basilisks.
No, but what did I smell again?
You were smelling the eggs.
Awesome. I suppose so.
Do you guys go as a group?
What's the point of going if we don't have anything to see?
Not from here, but we'll get to that. Oh, I just like seeing Kendrick just.
You medicate? No, what? No. I have no idea. I feel like Ethan might know too, but I'm not entirely sure.
You all continue along your ways, kind of limping and dragging yourselves from that first hit, Jack specifically.
What? Hey,
Um,
keep going. I'll be fine.
and as everything comes to a close, you get closer and closer and closer to this mural. And now you're probably within 60 some feet after walking quite a ways. Um, in the center of this, there almost seems to be like a fountain. Um, and this creature had seemingly fallen almost directly on top of it towards the end of it, and it's kind of tumbled off to the side. So this fountain is spewing a liquid kind of just off to the side because it's been shattered, it's been broken. But it's not water. It's dark. It's viscous.
Will
It's a.
would I happen to recognize that by chance?
I mean, all of you would. It looks like blood.
Oh, okay.
As it continues to pool off to the side as this fountain, well, that once seemingly was a very beautiful construction, very ornately made out of like almost like a sandstone or just earthy materials, has just been cracked open to the side and is just spewing out this bloody like liquid off to the side. This creature off that you can see is fucked up. It looks like quite a bit of it has been broken. So it's like trying to like turn on its side, but it's basically just like stuck on its back, shelled. It's a very gray creature in design. Has a very long jaw, almost like a pelican's, except it's like almost made out of this tough looking shell material. What's up? You can certainly try. Okay, use another spell slot for that. Okay. This creature can see all of you and is like yipping almost, like it's in pain, like it's fucked up. Um, Help in a sense of please don't fucking kill me. It's a creature. It's a we'll get to that. It's a creature that, you know what, Jack? Roll me an animal handling check. That or nature, either or. It The creature itself doesn't look like it has intelligence. It's a creature fearing for its life and safety right now. It's a creature that knows that it's broken and it can't fight back. Yep, you made 10 more. Yeah, I'm saying you made another 10. Last two. The last two, Nick. Yeah, you gave away 6 and you ate 2, so that's 8. Yeah. Okay. Do you like just try and toss him in, or do you like get close and like try and like drop him in? What's your armor class? It's it's a creature who's fearing for its life and it doesn't want you to get close. That attack is 21. And this thing hurts. this is a this is a really, yeah, you did. Let's say roll all ones. Instead if I roll all ones. Um no, 21 was the roll. Um it did a lot, Nick. What's your max HP? You take 30 points of damage. Nick is currently downed as he goes to try and give this creature some of the berries, and as his hand extends out the creature on its back, with a movement you weren't expecting, its neck almost like protrudes out and just bites around Jack's arm, and just and he passes out. You're unconscious, Nick. It's a pretty big creature. It's not quite as long as the basilisks, but it's a beefy boy. Probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6. The basilisks were maybe a few feet longer. Jack's arm is still currently within its mouth. It it bit onto its arm, and the bite damage caused Jack to go unconscious. So Jack is currently unconscious with its arm in its mouth. Essentially, yeah. What would you like to do, Gwen? Okay. Gwen builds up to her full size, this beastly, monstrous, cat-looking creature, and you want to attack it? All right, roll for an attack with disadvantage, or sorry, not with advantage because it's currently like on its back and cannot really move. 19 hits. Roll your damage. D12 plus your strength plus your +2 with rage. So it's a +6, which whatever you roll, which is crazy. 22 damage. What would you like to do to this? Just hit it in its stomach? Or like try and like cleave open its jaw? What would you like to do? Throat? Okay. As you almost like swing your axe like one-handed and just swing it within the palm of your hand, carve it straight down into the jaw of this creature, and the jaw just slides off to the side. It's not moving. As the blood of it, just this sickly purple looking fluid just kind of spills out and sprays over Jack's body, mixing with the dark red pool that's already below it. Uh, while we do this, Jack, make it. Yes, make a saving throw for me. Roll a d20. 11 or higher. That's a fail. Once you go, yep, yep. Okay. Yes, to be stable. You don't heal, but that means you're not bleeding out. Yeah, he'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. D4 is the pyramid. Well, the creature ate them. you had like dropped you had dropped them, and it like encompassed your palm up to like your shoulder basically. Yeah, but you would have dropped them in. No, you the way you were trying to feed it. Yeah, it's like encompassed your arm. I don't know what this means. D4, Wolf, roll it. To do what? What does Hunter Sense do again? I forget. All of your shits. Uh, Hunter. What?
You get 7 HP. You were 4 damage away from fully dying.
Um. So it is immediately learn when the creature has any damage, immunity, resistance, or vulnerability. Nothing. None of it. It doesn't have any immunities, any resistances, or any vulnerabilities. It's not moving. You completely just cut off the jaw. It is pretty big. So Jack comes to consciousness and stands up, just coated in blood in the front.
So what we learned. So what we learned. Jack, please never do something like that again. Okay, I'm gonna fire an arrow at you. Hold on, Tootsie. What? Oh, you're firing it at the fucking thing. Okay.
I've mind controlled Tootsie. Yeah, everyone has been like, "What the fuck?" and like pulled you away from the creature.
Now go have like anti-hero magic for this bird.
So you shoot an arrow at it. All right, roll an attack. 18. Thunk. Arrow in it now. Yes. So after this incredible display from you all, Jack is up. Jack is up. Oh. Oh yeah. If Greg wants to help you up, then yeah. Yes, you would be coming out of rage by now. So, as you all look on at this mural, it is a huge, huge mural. Um, to just relate it to something, it looks like hieroglyphics almost, in the sense that it tells a story as it goes along. Parts of it are. Does anybody speak Primordial? All right. So, I need both again Eltariel and Gwen to make intelligence checks. And Gerp. I'll add Gerp to that. Either make a history check is what I mean. I'm sorry. Yes. I would need a history check from all of you. Okay. Seven. Okay. You wouldn't be a part of this. I meant from those three. That's my poor choice of words. I'm sorry. We'll get to that in a moment. So Gwen, what did you roll? 15. Okay, and you rolled a 7, Gerp? 17. Okay. You all recognize parts of this as the Shattering. You, in a similar sense, you all know specifically Eltariel from your studies and Gerp from your home place. This is essentially on a grandier scale a telling of the Shattering. The Shattering is a story of how the universe and the planes were created. In the beginning, there were 8 gods. Let me get my book out really quick. Within the beginning, there were 8 gods who walked a singular plane. All of the planes that we know of today were one. Bits of reality hadn't quite been fleshed out yet. Some of them were melded together into these weird reality bending, breaking pieces that just kind of floated throughout the universe. The 8 gods, as we know them today, are the First Flame, the Stormcaller, the Law Seeker, the Chaos Seeker, the Overgrowth, the World Ender, and then the Abyss Holder, with one of those gods in the mural having their face been like cracked off and disrupted. This god you don't know the name of. Most of the books and texts that you guys have heard of have never really mentioned this. You know there's 8 gods, but you were only really ever given 7 names. Except for Gwen. Gwen, you know this last god to be called the Light Bearer. But why do you know that? You shouldn't know that. You've never been here before, but you know it. That same similar head-splitting pain fills your mind, and you have to fight it off. You have to focus all of your willpower to shrug it off. This information is filling your mind, and you know you're so sure that you know this, but the reality of the fact that you know you've never been here before just hurts your mind. These 8 gods were restless. They did as they pleased. They're gods. They can do whatever they want. That's when they grew bored after many, many millennia. And they created what we know as humanity. Among this time, as the planes are all one, these gods and creatures who, by our standards, we would know as humans or other races, are these creatures of incredible intelligence and incredible ability of magic. The gods grew weary of these creatures and began to fight them. They began to disown their own creations. They were afraid. At least some of them were. Some of them decided to try and join these creatures of intelligence. As time and time grew and as more bloodshed began, many of these creatures didn't ever see an end in sight. I know Kendrick will get this very specifically, but I don't know if any other Diablo fans are here. It's like the never-ending war. Yes, there's no end in sight. The creatures will continue making more children and continue growing in strength and numbers, but the gods are deities. They just existed. So it didn't seem like there was an end in sight. The Light Bearer took it upon herself. And within these murals, you can see the depictions of these, and you, Gerp, are seeing bits and pieces of the wordings here, and you're kind of in the midst of telling the story that you kind of already know, but there are bits of this that you're learning for the first time as well. The Light Bearer herself, one of the first gods to exist within this world and this universe, sacrificed herself, and in a blaze of light, she separated the planes, completely shattered reality, and forced a bunch of these planes and people and gods to choose and create their own planes at will. She forced the gods to retreat and into their own veil, essentially, to keep separate from this universe, this material plane, but have enough influence still to influence the people like you who have talked with these gods. Many of these gods have become docile over time, in the sense of they're not waging war anymore with each other or with the other planes or with creatures of intelligence. And as you guys can kind of see each of these creatures before you, or sorry, the gods before you in these murals, you can recognize them. You, Ellie, recognize a similar visage of the Lost Seeker. Gerp, you recognize what at least the stories have shown you to be like in the Stormcaller. Tootsie, you do recognize a similar visage to the Overgrowth. And Gwen, you haven't quite known about it or quite have put your faith in it. But one of them on the opposite end of the Stormcaller, the First Flame, you feel a recognition to. And you've seen a very similar visage in some of your visions. Jack, you've also never met the... You're here. No, it was... Yes. You recognize the same visage of the Overgrowth. The Lightbearer was the one who shattered all of the different planes into what we know them now to be, as the story says. But nobody's seen the Lightbearer since. Probably my mic. But as you all kind of come to see this, you guys hear, or specifically from Gerp, who's reading it, in these damaged and broken walls, that there are some people from that war who essentially everything got a redo. Everything was kind of wiped away from the Shattering, and then people were kind of forced to live on and in their own again. But some of the people before the Shattering were said to still be around, at least for a while. And this specific mural, as it kind of trails off into the end, is very heavily damaged. But, Gerp, you only get one thing, and it's a title, a name, a visage. The one who escaped. And that's all there is to it. In the center of this mural, the pictures and story have kind of curved around this like centerpiece, almost not like a doorway, but it seems to be this like arcing piece, and in the center of it, you can see what you guys know to be maybe, I'll say especially with that 17, an outdated version of all of the planes connected. With a very red centerpiece. What would you guys like to do? You can if you want. You don't have any more. You used all four, remember? And yeah, but you can't use the balm on yourself. It doesn't say you can use it on yourself. It's an friendly you can see. No. from that piece, it seems like chunks of it are kind of broken off, and like these like discs almost of different colors have been like fallen onto the floor, almost like a puzzle piece. What's up? Yeah, you can start picking them up. Yeah, about three. Um, it's a bit tall for Gwen. From where the layout of what you would imagine to be the planes is. But if anybody else were to try and slide them in and kind of fit which planes are where. Specifically to Eltariel. Because you, in your life, you know there are existence of other planes, but I mean, you and your village never really had to deal with it. Yeah, so like it's you would have no idea where to put these or how to really. I would make another intelligence check. And if either or, Gwen, I'll say you can do it as well. 16. Okay, Gwen, history check. 19. Okay. Um, combining your guys' efforts because Gwen again can't quite reach. Um, Gwen is able to look at it and kind of point out where they should be, or where she remembers them to be, and be like, oh, if it's been however long, you can just shift it over here, place it in like this. Um, and as you kind of keep recalling Gwen, that splitting headache keeps thrumming in the back of your mind. Um, it looks like she's like almost spazzing, like she's not doing okay. Yeah, you kind of slide in the last piece, and you hear a as you push it in. Chink, clink, click, 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 click. You start to hear sounds of whirring and pieces of stonework sliding and hitting each other, and chains that you can't see being pulled or raised. You'll kind of look around, um, and you kind of feel a slight rumble to the ground around you, and you look around in fear, and you wait and see, and this arch like in front of you, this doorway almost. It's not a door, but this arch in the wall that the mural has kind of gone around, um, begins to like shift and quickly spins around the other way. It seems to be a similar text to be on top of the murals. Well, Gerp would need to read it. All right. And it says, he who escapes champion must fight to prove their worth. And as Gerp finishes telling this, you hear another Chrism, 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 and you turn around, kind of seeing where this is from, and this big like center space, this circle, um, this loud banging and chunking sound gets closer and closer as you all kind of look around and you start to feel a shift in your feet as the ground beneath you starts to raise up and the stairs that you guys had walked on previously start to chink down into the canyon-like space that you guys had jumped over previously. And as this main disc begins to rise up and up and up, probably getting about 30 feet or so from the ceiling, where that archway is, you start to hear sounds and scraping along it from the opposite side. What would you guys like to do? You guys are still on this like main center, I'll say main center stage. It's this disc or this like circular spot that's been raising with the mural. Like you did something, and now the stairs that you guys have on had fallen down, and this centerpiece that you're on, everything is raising up, and it stopped about 30 feet up from the roof of where like these stalactites are. No, there's no stairs anymore. The stairs have fallen away. And everyone who's right next to where that arch is, so it would be Gwen, Gerp, and Ellie, hear sounds of like skittering and like hitting something against stone and like just sounds approaching. It doesn't sound like machinery. Okay. No. No. There's lights. There's the flames and torches like surrounding this circle. No, everyone can see. Surprisingly well. Surprisingly well. All right. I'll say everybody can do one thing. So Tootsie is holding something. Jack's making more berries and ate them. Gwen, you said you are readying your axe. Okay. It's getting closer from behind the wall. Okay. Ellie? Not really. The only place would be maybe next to the fountain. That's still there. It's not spewing blood anymore. But it's still just uh, it's really the only thing that's there. Okay. Garp. Okay. And Aegis also kind of pulls out his axe, seeing everybody kind of ready, and he's looking at this mural and listening to the stories, and he's just, this isn't right. This isn't right. He's thinking to himself and just kind of muttering. As that sound gets louder and louder, you get to a point where it should be like right on top of that wall, And then the sound stops. And you're all just kind of holding a breathless moment before it shatters. That 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 arch where all of the planes seem to be posted onto just shatters outward towards you guys, just turn to dust as this creature barrels through it, like side chest through it. It barrels past Gerp and Ellie and everyone who was right there, and kind of runs up to the fountain and spins around, just taking the fountain out with it, just completely shattering it to stone and dust. As it stares down all of you, this dripping skeletal body of just four legs and a hyena-like face, just and everybody has like spun around to look at it, and now it's like on the opposite way. Like all of your backs are facing the mural, and you all watch as around its waist, like a Saiyan, something uncurls around its body, and from behind it, this huge spinal-like skeletal cord of a tail with a stinger just points out from behind it and sways behind it as it just stares you all down, just breathing heavy. And that's where we're going to end the session. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you again next Saturday. Bye-bye.